Hey guys, Dr. Ko here, welcome back to my channel. Now today I'm going to be doing a part 3 to what if Naruto obtained Sasuke Sharingan. Now as usual I do a recap on the last episode on what happened. I'm going to do a quick one so I can get into the next what if of course. And from there we'll just jump straight into what if. This is gonna be an interesting what if, and I hope you guys like it. Okay. As I said last time, it'll be cool if you guys could like and subscribe my video. It's all good if you don't, but yeah, I'm just saying. Thank you anyway. So without further ado, let's get started on the recap. Okay. So in the last part on part what if Naruto obtained Sasuke's Sharingan part 2, Naruto pretty much got much stronger. Like his shadow clone use was much more in depth. He was able to use the shadow clones to the point where he could sleep and the shadow clones can stay manifested. But when he defused them, he of course he took, even if he had a good night's sleep and he wake up the next day and he defused the shadow clones, he is immensely tired again to the point where he might need to go to sleep or eat, like chakra exhaustion from all that training. He still does that. Okay. Still happens to him. And not only that, in the Forest of Death, Naruto took Sasuke's place in getting the curse mark, but when Naruto gets the curse mark inside, the interaction with the curse mark and the Nine-Tailed Cell ends up to the point where the fourth Hokage in Naruto's mind seals Orochimaru properly and does a Uzumaki contract between Naruto and the curse seal. So Orochimaru's spirit that's within the curse mark can never be released. At the same time, Naruto can fully benefit from having the curse mark without repercussions. However, it still drains him at this present time. Okay, and he's not going to just have a fully unlocked curse mark. No, he's got to develop it over a period of time. And what I'm going to suggest is he's going to have a similar curse mark transformation like Sasuke, but the wings don't look like their wings like that. They look more like hands. And they don't look like hands like Sasuke's one. They don't look like more like wings. Okay, and there's going to be something else I'm going to add to it, but I'm going to tell you guys later. Okay, so bear that in mind when Naruto unlocks the full curse mark. He looks more like Sasuke's curse mark when he's fully unlocked it. But he's gonna still look yellow, and not only that, or darker, or like a real dark yellow thanks to the Chris mark actually. And what's it called? His wings gonna look more like actual wings, not hands, because that's ugly. And yeah, okay. So that's what Naruto is installed for. He can activate the curse mark whenever he pleases, but only the partial one. He has to develop over a period of time, like, and yeah, as I said, drains him. He has still two Tomo Sharingan, I believe. But he's slowly getting to the point where he's going to activate them all. He's getting really adept at Genjutsu as well, thanks to the training with Kakashi over the month. Naruto learns Wild Arc, Lightning Style Wild Arc Jutsu, because he can't do the Chidori, he can't isolate a puppy, not cheating away. And it sparks everywhere, but he learns how to prevent it from sparking at him. So, but he learns that. He learns Summoning Jutsu, of course. And he gets really proficient at his Taijutsu and his body flicker, and thanks to Jiraiya's training, he can summon one full tails of the nine tails chakra fully. Okay, this is one man's training, and everything else goes towards canon with the fight lineup in the tuning exams. Okay, so that's the brief recap of everything. I think. If I've missed anything, please let me know down below in the comments. And without further ado, let's get back into part 3 of what if Naruto obtained Sasuke Sharingan. Now let's begin. Now, after the month's training, Naruto has gotten visibly stronger, visibly stronger, and he enters the arena because the his training with Kakashi came wasn't as much as important as his training with Jiraiya was. He was on time like Jiraiya did, and so is Kakashi. Kakashi is also there too. He comes to the same time. Jiraiya leaves Naruto in Kakashi's care and goes as per canon. Jiraiya leaves. What happens is um, Naruto prepares himself to battle Neji, and Shikamaru and them all prepare as well. Now the sound ninja that's about to fight Gaara, yeah, he's in there. He's not going to be much of a big threat. So let's bear that in mind, you guys. So when it comes to Naruto and Neji's fight, it's way different. Neji and Naruto are waiting. He actually watching with a fierce determination to believe that Neji can beat Naruto, and he not to more aggro towards Neji, more angry towards Neji. She openly yells out, "Go Naruto!" And this catches Hiyashi's attention and Neji's as well. But Naruto smiles and goes, points at Hinata, and she smiles. She blushes, but she smiles with determination. She's not gonna be there flustery Hinata and Ken when she just falls over Naruto. No, it's gonna change. Okay, and this one of Sakura got much stronger too, much stronger with her training with Tsunade. She knows that she's more determined than ever in canon, unlike in canon, of course. But she's more determined. Like she knows how to get to the point where she can heal wounds now, and her physical strength is up there. And because of her use and her chakra control, she's starting to get the hang of storing her energy and using a short burst, making her very strong. And they will find out in the battle to come. So what happens is when Naruto and Neji square off each other, Neji looks at Naruto and tells him that those eyes that you hold are weak. They're weak like you, and one of the teammate that died trying to protect you. Yeah, I know what happened, and it shocks Naruto because it kind of pisses Naruto off that Neji just hit the balls to say that. And Naruto, when Naruto waits for the proctor to announce the fight to be ready, Naruto looks at Neji and tells him, like, you better be ready, man, honestly. Like, Naruto's really visibly angry. And Neji can sense that too at the point when Naruto activates the Sharingan. So Neji instantly activates his Byakugan. Everyone notices this. They're both absolutely serious. Guys watching too. Now, what happened in the month of training with Neji, he actually trained really hard too because he realized that Naruto is not a pushover and Naruto's dojutsu use is actually quite good and he's good at jutsu, so Neji had to learn how to do more things. So he's really good. He got much stronger in this fight, Neji. Like he trained with Lee, he trained with Guy to the point where Guy made Neji, like Guy pushed him to the point where Neji got beat by Guy 3 gates for 3, you know what I mean? Like Neji is much stronger in this canon fight. So is Naruto, so when they begin their fight, the dojutsus are working perfectly in tandem with their fighting styles. Naruto anticipating and playing and watching Neji's punches, and Neji being able to see where Naruto's attacks are coming from and reacting efficiently. So these guys are both really good. Neji even practice how to do body flicker properly, and Naruto also the same. So they battle hard out everywhere around the stage. Everyone's buzzing out the speed and the raw talent from these two prominent Gene. And Neji is feeling happy in Naruto's efforts, irritated but starting to feel the excitement in the battle. So with Neji for the first proper time feeling excited in a battle besides getting whooped by my guy. Kakashi is tripping out how really good Naruto is. And so is Sai. Sai is really tripping out too, like Naruto is just going from mediocre to very good. Sakura's buzzing out too. That was good. Tsunade's there in the ring with Kakashi and the third Hokage's there with fake Orochimaru, fourth Kazekage. So that's all the same. But Tsunade's with Kakashi and standing by and watching. She's very impressed with Jirai and Kakashi's work. So is Guy and what's it called? He actually listening to everything he can see. Listening, he's quite interested by because there's unique. Oh, sorry, he what's it called? He actually, because he's not far from the he's here. He hears what they're saying. He's bearing it in mind, of course. So when they look back at the fight, Naruto and Neji is going at it. Neji using the benefit of his rotation and his Byakugan's ability to sense and see things real quick rapidly. And Naruto he also doing the same with his Sharingan. They blow for blow, jump, everything like that. They both seem to equal each other to the point where Neji gets a space between Naruto and jumps away and does an air palm and hits Naruto in the gut. And Naruto gets hit and he gets flung right back. He craters into the wall thanks to that real powerful air palm. And Neji does. Naruto hits the ground and he coughs out a little bit of blood, which makes Naruto excited because Neji's starting to go more serious now, and Naruto kind of underestimated how strong Neji really was. Because Naruto get really strong, don't get me wrong, but Neji is on the whole level. Like he's really strong now, thanks to his determination to know that he has to train and he has to train seriously because if he beats Naruto and all that, he's like Gaara and all that, get past all that sand. So he knows all the hurdles that he has to go by and stuff like that. So what happens is Neji starts to really get into the zone and tell Naruto to come. So Naruto wipes his blood away, gets up and gets into a fight again, but he summons two shadow clones to his back, and then they proceed to fight Neji. Neji started to not. He stopped holding back completely now. He got warmed up and he gauged Naruto's strength and therefore he knows he's able to get Naruto now. So was two more shadow clones coming to fight with Naruto. So what happens is Neji goes full on hardcore. He amps up chakra around his hand, similar to how Hinata and Kennen makes his two chakra lines. Well, he does similar things, but these are just massive. They're just chakra fists around his hands. So what's it called? Every blow, every chakra point he closes amplified and like a massive hit. So Naruto pretty much falls for Neji's trap upon getting in and believing their weight and numbers can take Neji. So what happens is Neji just keeps obliterates Naruto's clones and begins to fight Naruto. Naruto realizes that he has to get away, Neji's just on another level now. Naruto just gets away before Neji closes one of the chakra points in his leg, and Naruto lands. And when Neji gets close to Naruto, Naruto powers up his hands, brings some quick signs as he collapses because of his leg, his right leg being kind of shut off. He moves his hand inside into the fireball jutsu and shoots it out, a big ass one. Neji has to jump away, but he uses his chakra on his hand and his gentle fist to pretty much deflect the fireball away up in the air, which shocks everyone. Even Yasha's quite impressed, and everyone's quite impressed with Neji's abilities to even just do that. Occasionally brush a fire style into the air. He lands and Naruto's on the ground. Naruto sees that sees that Neji closes his chakra points. So what Naruto does is he's quite impressed with what Neji does. Neji gets close and pretty much uses his body flicker to blitz right next to Naruto, and Naruto gets up. He stands up and tries to release what Neji did to his leg, but it was already too late. Neji blitzed right in front of Naruto. Naruto got into his 8 trigram stance and does 64 palms on Naruto, closing all his chakra points. And after his Naruto is standing there frozen in his place. Everyone's shocked. Everyone's really shocked what's happened to Naruto. Naruto's really shocked too that Neji was as fast and as strong. And then what happens is Naruto feels himself about to black out, but then he just remembers if he loses, then he just feels this something inside him tell him to keep fighting, don't give up, keep fighting, don't let you have more power than you know, keep fighting, Naruto. Naruto can't quite pinpoint how familiar the sound was, but he feels like he needs to listen to it. So as Naruto is falling down, slowly falling out of consciousness, he wakes up with force, and what he does is he activates the curse mark and pulls the QB chakra out of his body. He activates the curse mark, which releases all the chakra points that Neji placed on him. Which Neji notices a big build up of chakra on Naruto, but only the partial curse mark where it goes up his arm and goes slightly over his face. And Neji shocked. Everyone's shocked to see Naruto do that, and then not only that, the QB chakra starts to envelop over Naruto. And it goes into the point where it generates one tail that shocks everyone. Orochimaru already knows this quite well, how powerful Naruto is with the curse mark with the one tail. But now to see that Naruto can pull it out at will shocks Orochimaru, and Kaiser makes him fearful about his plans. Naruto is actually gotten much more powerful now. It took Naruto to get to this point to beat Neji. He had to reactivate his curse mark and the tail cloak. Neji became so strong. See, knocked down playing him overpowered. OP Naruto. In the result of Naruto being this strong, everyone slowly starts to get stronger. But what happens is, as Naruto does that, he reopens all the chakra points and Neji once it gets closed, and he shouts and blasts Neji away from him. Neji is shocked that Naruto is fully back into commission. Well, not out of commission, I mean. And so Naruto begins to use the chakra to heal the parts we got injured. Even the partner's leg, Naruto stands up, easy as. He's looking at Neji, and Neji's shocked to see Naruto be standing. And so what Naruto does is he powers up his lightning style jutsu, wild arc jutsu, and he powers it in his hand, but he puts both his. This time, instead of allowing it to power up in one hand and forcibly downwards, so he has to keep it on the ground and cracks the ground. What Naruto does is he pretty much tries to follow the principles of Jiraiya and how he compresses his kick, the Rasengan, but because Jiraiya didn't fully teach Naruto the Rasengan fully in the time period, because Naruto was backwards force with Jiraiya and Kakashi, Naruto learned very well how to the principles of watching him condense it with the Sharingan. So Naruto does that with his lightning, with his at this period of time. Naruto does it with his lightning style. He runs straight at Neji, closely putting his hand over his other hand, spiking massive lightning style, and to his surprise, it's condensing the lightning style around his hand or around the area around his hand or both his hands. And Naruto envelops and pushes the chakra from his right hand to his left hand, or sorry, his left to his right hand, as he's running up to what's it called? To Neji. Neji sees it, so he powers his chakra on his hands fully, and he goes to he gets into a position where he does a rotation. Now this rotation is really strong, way stronger than the cannon. So when Naruto's boosting it as he's compressing the chakra around his right hand, Neji spins and Naruto sees the perfect moment he can hit, because he can see the rotation. He can see the movement of Neji's spinning to the point where he can perfectly calculate when to attack and get through his chakra barrier. So what happens is Naruto body focused by Neji as fast as he can, using the lightning style to amp him, and the empty attack and the curse mark in one tail QB attack. And Naruto forcefully hits Neji's. When he releases it, the line starts and goes into a massive frenzy and arc state, but because it was compressed into around his hand, and the line starts to go fully wild, and Naruto hits Neji's rotation, but right when Neji's hand gets to that area, and they make absolute contact with their chakra, and it explodes, explodes everywhere. Lightning style jutsu starts to fly everywhere, breaking the rafters and stuff like that, thanks to Naruto's attack. When the smoke clears, Neji's created on the side of the wall, massively created on the side of the wall. Lightning's like the lightning arrows going right through his body. He's severely injured thanks to that attack. Naruto sent him flying with that attack. And all he needed to do was just make contact with him, because he put so much energy into that attack. It formed a massive, powerful arc that sent him flying. And then Naruto made contact with his hand and completely crushed his hands. Now Neji's arm is broken, completely broken thanks to the attack, and he's severely injured on the clash of attack. Naruto's standing there. The injury stays is minor, is very minor, so it'll heal back faster. And Naruto it'll heal back faster. So when everyone's shocked to see Neji out. Neji can't even get he can't even get off the wall. He's pinned, locked in place. Sasuke, what's I saying? Sakura, everyone's shocked. Kakashi is very shocked and impressed, and Naruto was able to use his brain for once and use both his hands to compress the lightning into one hand. As he lets it go, he was able to make it. Kakashi was really proud of his student. Guy was shocked. And not only that, Guy and Kakashi both look at each other like, man, this student's powerful. Neji is powerful now. Hinata is buzzing out, and when Naruto finishes off Neji, he walks over to Neji and tells Neji, and pretty much makes Neji change his changes. But Neji is looking up at Naruto. Well, he's not looking up at Naruto. Technically he has lifted his head up because he's cradled into the wall, and he pretty much looks at Naruto and he coughs up blood. He's severely injured, his arm's broken. Everything like that. He's decimated from the lightning style. And Naruto pretty much looks at Neji, pins him on the shirt, and Naruto genjutsu Neji. Because Neji, even though he needs to be going to see through Naruto, he's like to try to get into Neji's head, and he talks no jutsu the hell out of Neji in the Sharingan world, or in the realm where he goes. And Neji wakes up, he uses his natural sense to resist Naruto's mind, and the talks to Naruto realizes that Neji still has some fight in him, so he talks to Neji using talk no jutsu. In real life, I can't everyone. He wanted to make sure. Yeah, he wanted to exclusively just talk to Neji, but since he wants everyone to know, here Naruto pretty much talk to Jutsu and tells him that he's going to change the Hyuga ways and all that stuff. And destiny's not preordained. Look at me, I have most friends dead. I have eyes to carry on as well. Which shocks everyone. Everyone's proud that this fox kid with the Sharingan is actually quite strong, and he's quite an asset to that. they see that he's in full control. Not only that, like when they saw Naruto's tail, they see that Naruto is progressing well. They don't know what their might that grows on his body, but they believe there's a way for them Naruto to control the chakra. But no, that Naruto's extra power up. He pretty much goes Sage. He pretty much goes partial Sage, Kyuubi mode, which makes him very well remember the Orochimaru. Yeah, remember the Orochimaru part in the first scene. It allows him to. Well, Naruto, after he defeats Neji, goes up to Hinata and tells her, like, because she's still injured massively, thanks to Neji's brutal beating of her before. She's still injured from that. She didn't fully heal over the month. Yeah, but she's still injured on the side of her ribs from the fight against Neji. So what happens is, what's it called? The Gaara fight with that Sad Ninja. Easy as Gaara wipes him out. Easy as Shikamaru and Tintin's fight is the same. But Shikamaru was just way more better. He stretches straight out longer and everything. He had more chakra, but he still gives up because he's lazy. So all that goes the same. But what happens is when Naruto and everyone understands, Sugino gets struck because Gaara doesn't go to that crazy state. The Sugino gets struck because Naruto doesn't like Gaara. And like he sees something about Gaara that he doesn't like, and Gaara is crazy. Everyone sees that Gaara is crazy. So what happens is everyone gets put onto the Genjutsu and Gaara, and then Hidden Sand attack. They're going to attack with the help of Gaara and his sand and Conqueror and everyone. Like, everyone's going like, we'll get Gaara and get away, but Hidden Sand attack Hidden Leaf. Orochimaru goes more on full force with everything like that, and knowing that he has a secret weapon that's flying in the winds, hiding for now. And what happens when the Konoha attack happens? They decimate everything, fight everything. Sound falls there with their curse marks activated, and they're really strong. Like Orochimaru's not taking no chance, and they're taking out ninjas left, right, and center of the sound form. Kabuto gives up he takes away his facade straight away, and he instantly fights with Orochimaru. Like the third Hokage's fight is way more intense. What happens is Orochimaru at this time he does not summon the first and second Hokage when the third Hokage in the fight. He leaves there for a last resort. What he does is he summons Sasuke when he's fighting the third Hokage. But I'll leave that part for another part right now. I'll get to what's happening with Naruto for Gaara. So what happens is Naruto sees everyone again. Genjutsu releases everyone. While everyone's around him, and he sees that Gaara and the gap anyway. Something happens like Gaara. It's with the hidden sand that people that are attacking the village. They can see that, and when Naruto sees Gaara, he uses Shuriken. Shuriken jutsu to chuck at Gaara, and Gaara notices that Naruto's right there, out of the Genjutsu, and only there Sakura's there too. Sakura's there right there, and so is Sai. So all three of them are there already, and Sai creates a bird, and they all jump on Sai's bird, and they go after Gaara. And what happens is Naruto keeps chucking shurikens at them to try to get them in the position. And Gaara's flying on the sand to get away, and to get to a position where he can fight, in essence, because he wants to fight Naruto. He's crazed about fighting Naruto in a sense of a challenge. So he gets away, and what happens is they're stopped by Konkoro and Tamari. Because the fight against Sasuke didn't hurt him, he didn't go crazy and get injured and everything. Tamari them pretty much slowed them down. So what happens is Naruto, they jump off, Sai jumps up and fights Konkoro, and Sakura goes and fights, what's her name, Tamari. And then what happens is Naruto jumps off the bird, where the bird is, and he jumps towards where, what's his name, Gaara is and lands. Now Naruto's not at full strength at this present time because when he fought Neji, he wasn't at full power. Like he had to go Kyuubi mode and a curse seal to beat Neji, and so his body had to recuperate from that. So when he lands when Gaara, the fight's kind of different. When it comes to Sai and Konkoro's battle, it's pretty much Puppet's versus super strong paper cartoons, super strong cartoon drawings, and though Konkoro was really mean, with his puppet Sai. Learned a lot of new forms of puppet jutsu, form of art, drawing jutsus. I don't know what those are. art ninjutsu. There it is. Thank you. And he learns a lot of them, like a lot of birds that can make it to multiple birds will attack to them. If you just he'll make 3 birds, and those 3 birds will get attacked, and then break up into more birds. But they have a limit. They draw chakra, but they're really a useful attack. They get around Conqueror, and what's it called? When the fight between them is about to end, and Conqueror gets close, he doesn't realize that Sai has surrounded him with his birds that duplicate, and the way he does it, he does ninja art. Um, Ninja bird seals, and all the birds wrap around Conqueror, and all they land all on Conqueror and his puppets and seal them in place for now. And what happens after Sai kind of kneels down, um, injured because they get like a curse mark, they get the curse seal where Barry locks them in place. The same way kind of what Donzo used, because Donzo told him how to do that. Because when Sai was gone for his month, Sai told Donzo everything that happened and all that stuff. And then Naruto connected with the Sharingan, and he went all crazy with the tail beast. So Danzo's trying to make a plan to get the third Hokage out, and he's finally found the perfect way, stating that Naruto's too unstable. And he's saying that he needs to be kept in the village at all times, and not be used like Danzo's son to get that part anyway. So yeah, Sai seals pretty much knocks Conqueror up, and he leaves to go help Sakura. And when it comes to Sakura and Tamari's fight, it's completely different. Because Tamari is a long range fighter, and Sakura is a close range fighter. Fight goes towards Tamari for a bit. Because Sakura is strong, but not that strong. Like in Ken, not that strong as like the water Sakura. She's pretty strong and everything like that. And so she has to keep her distance, jumping behind trees and like that. It's not till when Sai gets there, and Sai uses his ninja puppets to ninja to at least distract him tomorrow. And then once we Sai chucks pepper bombs, but they did the distraction for him to get close. And when Tamara gets distracted from hitting Sai, Sakura's right there, and she pretty much, instead of punches Tamara and killing her, she backhands Tamara and sends her flying, knocking her into a tree. And what's good, they pretty much take it, and then Sai uses his art to pretty much seal her, or pretty much tie her with the seal on place to lock her there until the fight later. But because Sai's real tired, Tamari can break out. She breaks out of it once she gets her senses, because Sai's tired from fighting Conqueror. So what happens is Shino and them don't appear because So what happens is when Naruto's fighting Gaara, it's a much interesting fight because Naruto can use Shadow Clones in tandem with his fire style and has all his jutsu fighting style. It's a pretty good battle. Like their fight gets right up the mark. What's it called? Gaara instantly uses all his sand to take the advantage of range and close range, and Naruto seems to duck and dodge backwards and forth, getting it and using his body flicker to get around. And then when Gaara's sand hits the ground, Naruto doesn't realize this, but Gaara is filtering sand to transform the terrain underneath into sand to make more sand to help him fight and make himself. Not only that, Gaara is building up chakra to use Shikaku powers eventually if it needs to. He knows that Naruto is a very strong opponent. So what happens is their battle continues very rapidly. Naruto has a Sharingan activated, and he's battling Gaara unlike Naruto. Uses his body flicker technique, and he's roughly around the same speed as what's it called? Near the same speed as Third Gate Lee when he uses his body flicker, and when he amplifies it with his what's it called? Kusama, he gets even faster, and this catches Gaara by surprise, and but Naruto can't hold it for long because he's still drained from the battle prior with Neji. So that goes through play a factor. So when Naruto gets close, he goes to throw a punch right at Gaara, right through his Sancho, and as he throws the punch, he instantly he feels strained and tricky. He doesn't have as much force as he does. Like he goes like a heartbeat hits him, but it's just a drain feeling of him from they're using the curse mark and the tail attack it in tandem. He hasn't used it since the last time he raged out. He used it. He only used it to individually, he didn't put them together in his training. So what happens is Naruto punch doesn't really do nothing. He just hits Gaara and sends him a little bit flying. Naruto falls to the ground pretty much huffing and puffing, and Gaara gets up really angry because even though that wasn't a full power punch, that still hurt Gaara to the point where it made him slip bleeding and everything like that. So Gaara starts to partially transform, and Naruto's still trying to gather himself, and Naruto heads to the back of his mind, and for some reason something telling him to continue. He goes, fight on, find a way, there's always a way, Naruto. Naruto always hears this thing in the back of his head, but he just can't put his finger to it. But he thinks it's just something passing by. So when Naruto does it, he thinks about it and he goes, he has a plan. So what Naruto does is he activates the curse mark again, partially on his curse mark again, and he stands up, feeling really back to near strength again, even back to being fast. Naruto knows he can't use this curse mark for long again because he used it before. He only has like a shorter time span before he's tired again. So Naruto uses it to the benefit and starts to match Gaara's partial transformation until Naruto starts using shadow clones. Because Naruto feels stupid in his head before feels stupid in his head because he just remembered, oh yeah, my shadow clones, like in the dummy forgetting because he was too busy fighting. You used to fighting like how it was right there. Then Naruto goes with using his proficient shadow clone fighting just to get to generate some chakra or just get away for a bit. Gaara's not having it in but he starts to build up he starts to transform more into a stale beast. And then what happens is Naruto shadow clones get decimated. He jumps after Naruto, and Naruto generated enough chakra even with his partial curse mark to get to the point where he drew out enough chakra from the cube to go to summon his wild arc lightning style wild arc jutsu and compress it again in his hand, and he manages just to get enough for when Gaara gets close to Naruto. He uses the Kurosama's power at his body flicker and his lightning style with his Sharingan, two-dimensional Sharingan, the teleport right by Gaara, will appear right by Gaara as he moves and he shrugged, puts his hand right through the barrier as fast as he can, and punches Gaara, and he sends Gaara flying, and the lightning style also shocks Gaara, so complete sand, breaking the sand on the partial of his body. And Gaara goes flying, coughing out blood, all the way flying. To the point where Gaara forcefully summons Shukaku. Gaara's injured, but when he forcefully summons, allows Shukaku out, yeah, his full body comes down. Even though Gaara is massively injured from the attack from Naruto, Gaara does the puppet jutsu and instantly goes to sleep, and Shukaku takes over. Now, when all this was happening, Naruto falls to the ground, absolutely knackered from what he just did. He's drained as tired as on the ground. He knows he just needs 5 minutes. He just needs 5 minutes. He needs just a minute or two to gather his chakra just to get to the point where he can fight this gigantic toad. Toad. This gigantic creature, whatever it is. So as Shukaku's reveling in happiness there, he's free and out. What happens is Sai and Sakura land by Naruto, and they help Naruto up, and they ask if Naruto's alright. Naruto goes, and when they see Shukaku, they're frightened. They don't know what to do against the attack. So when Naruto goes, he has them. He just needs to generate some chakra. He can distract them as much as he can. Sakura and Sai. Sai goes, okay, Naruto, we'll have you back. So what Sai does, he draws another bird. Sai gets even a little bit more greatly tired as well. But he summons another bird and gives it to Sakura and makes that bird fly around. Flies up to the point where Sakura can use her strength to hit Shukaku and briefs in any convenient way, not to be useless. What's it called? But then Sakura goes, really pointless, and Sai gets why he goes, I'll stay here by Naruto and heal him, give him so much I can heal him to make him get there faster. Cut at least half the time I need to build up the chakra right 30 seconds. Then Sai instantly goes a bit better with Sakura, but he realizes that he needs to do so. He summons as much chakra as he can, makes two more birds that can separate the same as his other jutsu, the multi-bird and the ninja multi-bird jutsu. Multi-bird art jutsu, whatever I said. I said it's multi-bird art jutsu. Where if you destroy one and it breaks into two, it has a limit, and that's the chakra levels. So what happens? These big birds go to annoy Shukaku, and they annoy Shukaku enough to get to 30 seconds. Shukaku gets to the point where he does a massive wind style and obliterates majority of them. Luckily, Sai was able to get high enough from the wind style attack before Shukaku's hit his area, Anyways, when Shikaku sees Sai, he powering up another one star Sasuke, so and the 30 seconds is up. For Naruto, he gets fully healed from Sakura, and after he bites his fingers, waves his hand signs, and puts his hands on the ground, and so he's summoning jutsu. Boom! It explodes. Naruto summons Gamabunta. Gamabunta looks at Naruto and goes, "What do you want now, kid?" And he goes, "I need your help against." And he goes, "Sure." And then Gamabunta cuts him off. Goes, "Shikaku, the Sand Demon. How interesting. Never thought it would come to be the day where I fight Shikaku or the Sand Demon." And Shikaku sees the toad. He goes, "A stupid toad." Pretty much calls him a stupid toad, being like, "What the hell you want?" Sakura is absolutely shocked. She's standing right behind Naruto on the toad, and Naruto tells Sakura to keep your footing. I'm standing on Gamabunta as if what's it called? You're walking on water or walking on trees. So she does the same. She does it. Gamabunta, "Who's this girl? Who's this brown on me?" He goes, "This is my teammate." And Sai flies and jumps straight on Gamabunta as well. Gamabunta's like, "Yeah, there's not a damn party on my head," and Naruto apologizes. Sai bird lands by Gamabunta, and he gets irritated a little bit more. But Shikaku kind of ruins that catch up and the need for them to plan, and he shoots a one star one and bullet jutsu. What's it called? Gamabunta jumps out of the way. Sai gets flung off, but his bird comes and catches him and flies him up. We're going to make a play, but Shikaku interrupts there. Sakura tells Naruto that what's it called? You're right, but Naruto is tired from summoning Gamabunta. He is tired from summoning Gamabunta. So Sakura goes back to healing Naruto again, so she's not particularly useless again. Her strength can't be utilized right now in this present fight. So what Sakura does is heals Naruto and gets him back near full strength. And yeah, the fight with Gamabunta goes near the same. What's it called? And Shikaku gets held. And what Naruto does, he still jumps off and he goes to try to hit Gaara. But what happens is Sand protects Gaara, so Naruto pulls out. He does his best and he does as best as he can. He pulls out partial amount of the Kyuubi's chakra, not full tail. He doesn't have enough chakra to pull out full tail. What he does, he pulls a little bit out like he does in Cannon. But it's enough to summon the Crest Marker for his arm again. Give him enough strength to bolster the attack again. And what's called Naruto easily breaks out of the sand and proceeds to jab Gaara right in the face. Sand catches the majority of Naruto's blow, but it still hits Gaara and knocks him out, wakes him up out of the sand, which makes Shikaku disappear. Gamabunta is massively tired from this fight against Shikaku, and he unsummons himself, which sends everyone flying. Sakura gets caught by Sai on his spirit, and Naruto lands. He lands because he's just he got pretty good now at keeping control of the unsummonings. And then when Gaara lands after that punch from Naruto, Gaara lands in the tree and he gets up to try to fight Naruto again. But Naruto gets up. He's visibly tired. His arms are down and everything like that. Naruto's huffing and puffing on the tree, thanks to all that use of Sharingan, bloody curse marks multiple times, and the Kyuubi chakra. And Sakura's drained from healing Naruto twice. And Sai's drained from using all the attacks, the multiple animal attacks. Was out shooting, so yeah, they're visibly tired. So when Gaara jumps to try to finish off Naruto, Naruto jumps up and he still does the same thing can when they both fall. And what happens is Naruto is drained as, and so he drags himself. He does the same thing to Gaara and he tells him he knows what it's like to be in that position. Gaara could tell him they both have that talk no jutsu, like the absolute old school Naruto with the mega power over Gaara, telling him like I know what it feels like to be in your position, bruh. They go and they both have a tummy whistle or cry. Sorry, I apologise, that's Moldy for crying, my bad. Um, I'm too still saying around, my bad, guys. Naruto and Gaara both cry and they have that talk no jutsu moment, and yeah, this changes. What happens though is when Sai and them when they stand by Naruto, Kankuro and Tamaru come appear by Naruto's Gaara as well. And what happens is Gaara tells him enough, like he's Chinese, he's like, it's enough. And looks at Naruto and says, "Thank you, Naruto." But shocks Tamaru and Conqueror. And Gaara says, because this guy is more, he gets more close to Naruto, and he just tells Naruto, I'm very grateful for, very grateful to hear like he's got a friend, Naruto. And then they leave just like in canon. And what happens is Gaara apologizes to his team. Naruto falls over from exhaustion and everything like that, and he's absolutely tired. So Naruto, Sai, and Sakura are down. Gaara, Conqueror, and Tamari are leaving, and that goes near towards Kennen. Now, when it goes to the Orochimaru versus the third Hokage's fight, that's the same too, but it's instead of um, there's the first and second Hokage he summons, he brings the reanimated Sasuke apt version. And what happens is the shocks the third Hokage because he sees Sasuke with Sharingan and know that he's in this level 2 curse mark position. And Orochimaru thinks he has it with this really strong Naruto, but he superly underestimates the third Hokage. And what happens is, as the fight begins, because the third Hokage knows a lot of Uzumaki seals and contract seals, well, in this one, anyway. What happens is the third Hokage fights Sasuke. He doesn't easily manhandle him, but the Sasuke is nowhere near Kage level. So what happens is the third Hokage gets to a point where he pins Sasuke, and then he puts a seal on Sasuke and holds him there, puts a tag on him. But it doesn't stay on long though. But it stayed on long enough for the tag that's in his head to fall out, and so pretty much releases Sasuke's soul. Well, releases Sasuke's obedience to Orochimaru. Now, when it gets Orochimaru sees the Sasuke, doesn't dissipate, but what he does is he turns against Orochimaru. He's still himself, and he goes to attack Orochimaru, but Orochimaru releases doesn't release the reanimation, but he does like a full seal and a reverse summon of Sasuke, because Sasuke pretty much failed. And Sasuke ends up at the hidden cell or hidden sound village in the prison that was put on, sealed again, making him angry, of course. But now he's full autonomy again as a reanimation. What happens is from there, Orochimaru summons the first and second Hokage, and everything like that goes more towards canon. Now the third Hokage is more tired. He's more tired than he was in canon, but he still manages to use the Reaper Death Seal to seal both the first and the second. And not only that, he was able to take not fully Orochimaru's arms, but he was able to take some of Orochimaru's jutsu. He can still weave jutsu, but not to the degree of in canon. Well, not to the degree that he used to be. So he's more weaker than he's more weaker than he would be, but he's stronger than he was in canon. So that's going to play a part. And so the third Hokage still dies. Orochimaru goes back with the Sound Ninja, and Naruto and them all end up in hospital together. So the Konoha crash ends with people still dying as canon, and everyone has to prepare for what's to come for the next part. But that's where I'm going to leave it for today, guys. There's not a long what if like every other what if that I've made, but I'm trying to gradually condense this so you guys don't have to drag on and on and on. So I'll get better with my content. As I said in the beginning, please like and subscribe. It'll be awesome. And not only that, leave your comments because it's really awesome to hear you guys comment about it. Okay, guys. So yeah, but yeah, without further ado, this is Dr. Ko saying peace.